the first thing we're going to be talking about is the casino plans. There were three that were in the west side, in Midtown, and now the east side that were rejected by the city council or the city planning committee, which, to be honest, got a little contentious last week when the second bid was actually said 4-2 rejected. And there was a lot of words said outside of that meeting, to say the least. So the first one that was taken away was on the West Side Highway near Hudson Yards. That was going to be a mega complex. That was Larry Silverstein's ambitious project. That was a casino, hotel, residential. There was a whole tower that was going to go, affordable planning. There was big fears about traffic. The neighborhood has developed incredibly since that whole project is in maybe its third phase upcoming. And, like, what are they going to do? Just south of the Javits Center, you essentially have a tremendous community. It's a whole neighborhood. It's kind of like West Chelsea that was developed over there in the last 10 years. And it's nice. It's really nice. Very expensive shops. Obviously, everything is updated, brand new. Residential could be doing better, to say the least. Commercial could be doing a little bit better, especially with the office space. There's a lot of competition in the office space when you come to, say, even Midtown, with One Vanderbilt right next to Grand Central Station. Then you obviously have the World Financial System downtown, which has an exorbitant amount of office space. There's a lot of competition. The good thing is with that, there are a lot of jobs that are requiring people to remain at work at least until Thursday, or at least be in the office till Thursday. Then obviously a lot of them have it optional on Fridays. I noticed that in the city on Fridays, it's a lot more casual walking around. So the first one that was rejected was Silverstein's mega complex. To be honest, the designs and everything else, it didn't really look that appetizing. Then in Midtown, Mohegan Tribes, along with a couple of other investors, tried a $11 billion vision, which was casino, affordable housing, green space, and entertainment. This was actually right in the heart of the Midtown Times Square area. To be honest, the designs visually, I guess, looked appealing. I went back and forth with my buddy. He was not happy that it was rejected. He's in residential as well. He was saying it could have really brought up the area, but Times Square really isn't that shoddy of an area. It's not like you're really throwing in billions of dollars to an area that already has billions of dollars. It's extremely high traffic when it comes to tourism and people visiting, and just in general. I forgot the hotel that's right there. I don't know if it's the Hilton, but that thing is a monstrosity, and they are always booked. I don't know how many rooms they have. They have thousands of rooms in there and dozens of conference rooms. And I was just in there a couple of weeks ago, and I looked around. And I went to the front desk. I just was curious about to the room rates. They were sold out for the night. There's a place that has thousands and thousands of rooms right in the middle of Times Square. I understand it's right in Midtown. Everyone wants to book it and everything else. But that was really pushing against the narrative that New York City would never come back. That's number one. Number two is when you have record breaking, I think the record breaking is 65 million visitors in a year. And we came close, I think, 2 to 3 years ago, where it was about 61, 62 million. We have to be coming right up against that 65 million, because I have not seen as many people in New York City as I have this year. It's just, you got to walk in the middle of the street, because that's the only way that you can get up and down the streets. Number one was Silverstein. That got rejected. Number two was Midtown. That was Mohegan Sun. That was, I think actually that was with Rock Nation. I don't know. But the latest one, which was on the east side of Manhattan, that was actually very interesting. Now that I'm looking at Caesars was actually Midtown. That was with Rock Nation. That was the one that just got recently rejected. It was actually, I think, SL Green's CEO that was calling them out in person. That was very interesting. So that was actually the second one that just got, this is with all in a week. So Silverstein got rejected, then Midtown got rejected. That was SL Green. He confronted the committee as they were exiting the offices after a 4-2 rejection. That was with Rock Nation. That's Jay-Z's company. And then that was Caesars Entertainment. So that was the one I didn't really like. I mixed up the Midtown and the east side. And then the one that just got rejected was Mohegan Tribes. That was $11 billion. That was on the east side. That was right near the UN. They stated that it was rejected because of congestion, safety, and character. It's very interesting ways to actually formulate it, that it was character. Meanwhile, I don't know how much character is over there in the UN, but it would have been nice, to be honest. If you wanted to slot anything of a casino type building. It would have been on the east side. The west side, it would have probably been a little out of place, but it still would have been good. Midtown, there wasn't enough room, to be honest. I understand where they were going with the illustrations, but that was, to be honest, an easy rejection. The east side could actually use it. And the transportation getting there would have been the challenge. The easiest way would have been the west side, but they all got rejected. So Manhattan is not in the running anymore. There are a couple of other runnings that are going on right now. Brooklyn, Queens are still in the running. I think there's also one in the Bronx, which is very interesting. So it's going to be very curious what happens. I think actually Mayor Adams put his hat behind either Midtown or the one on the east side. So he's on board with a casino. To be honest, my only opinion of Manhattan is it should not be here. If anything, go out to, say, where the Islanders are playing. That whole area has just flipped upside down. It's just stunning. The Belmont area, the Belmont horse race is going through a multi-year renovation. I think they're up to 3 or 4 years. They've been closed for the Belmont Stakes. So they've been up at upstate and racing up there, which, Saratoga, it's nice. It's not like the Belmont Stakes where you got people coming in from all over the place to just have a great day. Leave your comments below, because my opinion is there should not be a Manhattan casino. Obviously, I would love to hear what you have to say about that. Subscribe to the channel if you like to hear about news, breaking news, opinions, things behind the scenes, what's going on. There's a lot of development going on here in Manhattan after a couple of slow years, to